Hiya Ray, lovely to meet up with you and do some work on your short game during the week. Great session, really good improvements towards the end of it. Just a quick recap as promised regarding the key points that we covered. The main concern was with low point. Low point was moving back too much because either the weight was translating back during the downswing or the handle of the club was being passed by the club head. So we either had handle location or weight location as an issue. From a setup perspective, once you set up with the weight a bit more forward and the handle a little bit more forward, certainly with your shorter shots, it's much easier to then get a feel for maintaining that through impact. What we also noticed was that the club was going back very low to the ground. That was causing the upper centre to translate back a little bit during the takeaway and resulted again in the low point moving back. So we place your iron cover here behind the golf ball just to encourage you to get the club ascending quicker. As the club ascends quicker, the wrists load a little bit more than normal and the elbows start to fold a little bit more incrementally during the course of the backswing. That's something that can help you with your long game as well. One of the things that we've struggled with over the past few months is the condition of the elbows during the backswing. So a little bit better loading of the wrists and the arms on the way back could still be improved, but that's a much better move than you were making at the start of the session. The key goal now though, and one of the other reasons for the head cover being there, is to narrow the radius as you come down. If you get too wide now, too shallow, and lead with the club head, you're going to clip the head cover. So you can see now as you're coming into the golf ball, much better lead with a handle, coming in with a slightly descending blow, weight still forward, handle still forward. There's a little bit of a flex forward of the upper body as you come through, but you can see there's not an overly deep divot, so the left leg's starting to straighten to bring the club out of its descent, as we discussed during your session. If the weight stays forward and the handle stays forward, I think you'll find it much easier, as you did, to start to bring the club out of the ground as you practice more. So weight forward, handle forward, tightening up the radius of the swing during the downstroke by placing an obstruction about 10 inches behind the golf ball as you're hitting it. So nice flat left wrist through impact. And that's key. And what we also discussed during this session was how you can alter the trajectory of your shot and the starting direction of your shot while still keeping the left wrist firm. What we're seeing here is a ball that we're trying to hit a little bit lower and run up the green. And what we've got now is we've got a left wrist that's flat and rotating over. So if you look at the angle of the club face at that point, it's released over quite a bit. What we've got on this one is the same left or flat left wrist, same descending blow, but on this one we're going to try and start it to the right of the shaft that's in the ground. You can see there as you come through now, there's less rotation of the club face. The ball is starting off much higher than what we see here. And also what we noticed on these ones, and I think this is a nice way for you to practice, is you were using the bounce of the club much better. So the divots weren't as deep. If you did catch the ground behind the ball, which is one of your tendencies, the bounce that's on the club is going to encourage the club to come out of the turf. Whereas by playing the low running shot, as we rotate the club, we're exposing the leading edge of the club more to the ground. And on that one, you executed that one really nicely. But on the one that you missed time, the divot got a little bit too deep. So I feel that when you're practicing, if you want to spend a little bit of time practicing that high, softer landing one, not a parachute shot, but just where you maintain the loft on the club for a little bit longer. So the feeling is that you're going to start it slightly right of the shaft as opposed to online or slightly left of the shaft. And as we discussed, you can implement that into your long game. If you exaggerate that drill and you sort of work on, say, a 90-yard shot with an A-time, still trying to hit it with a descending blow, still trying to prevent the low point being back, but starting to get an appreciation of how the rolling of that flat left wrist can actually affect the starting direction and trajectory of your shot. Good luck with it. I look forward to working with you again in a couple of weeks' time. Well done.